We'll see what Pete King feels, the amazing former Congressman, Homeland Security. And if you follow Pete King on social media, Facebook especially, he does a really good job with his opinions. He's got fun stuff on there, too, Met stuff and stuff in and around Nassau County. But he does a good job on social media opining on these major topics. And from what I've seen, Pete King, the last couple of days, you wouldn't be all that upset with that word, betrayed. Or am I speaking for you?
Yeah, I wouldn't use betrayed. I think the president is committed to doing the right thing, but I have to say I'm very disappointed in this agreement. I don't know where it leads. In many ways, it brings us back to where we were when the war started, and in some cases worse, because now we know that Iran can shut down the Strait of Hormuz almost whenever it wants. Unless we have a way to prevent that from happening, they right now are holding the upper hand, which they didn't back on February 28th. And also talking about Israel, which obviously is important, not just for Israel's sake, but for our sake, because they are a key ally. And the other nations in the Middle East, the Arab states, they will look to see how we treat Israel as to whether or not they should be respectful of Israel. So that's really what President Trump's strong point in the first administration toward Israel was with the Abraham Accords. That showed the Arab nations that we were absolutely committed to Israel. Now, like the president said yesterday, that Israel should get out of Lebanon, as if they want to be there in the first place, and they should stop fighting with Hezbollah in Lebanon because they haven't done a good job, and they should turn it over to Syria. I mean, that looks so bad. It sends such a wrong signal. And also the fact that he's been so critical of Netanyahu. Listen, to me, you can like or dislike Netanyahu, but the fact is he is a leader of a democracy. He has stood with President Trump all the way. And when, as you were saying the other day, the president's never said a bad word about Erdogan or Xi in China, or Mandami for that matter, we can go down the list. And to be so personally critical of Netanyahu, a man who has shown tremendous leadership both for Israel and supporting Western values with the United States. So, no, listen, to me, a lot more has to be explained. Maybe there's still time to salvage this over the next 60 days. But where it is right now, it's not the position I think anybody expected us to be in back on February 28th and March 1st.
Yeah, and not only does he not say bad things about those guys, he compliments them. I mean, I'm sick and tired. I don't know about the rest of you people. I know he's playing chess. You know, that's another comment that's getting tired. But I'm sick and tired of hearing him compliment Mamdani. Good guy, great guy, smart guy. Same thing with the Iranian regime 2 days ago. These are wonderful people to deal with. They're smart people. So it'd be one thing if he didn't say anything. But he goes out of his way to compliment Mamdani. But Bibi's an asshole, and Bibi's difficult, and Bibi's this, and Bibi's that. Some people say to me, in the know, okay, that he's doing that because he got really sick and tired of hearing his detractors say that this is Bibi's war. That, the memes of Bibi walking President Trump on a leash, and this is Trump fighting Bibi in Israel's war, and he got sick and tired of hearing that. So now, in an effort to show everybody that, hey, you're stupid, no one makes decisions for me, which is true, they are stupid, and no one makes decisions for me. In his effort to really pound that home, that's why he's being extra tough on Bibi. What do you think?
I certainly hope he's not thinking that because, first of all, we're the most powerful nation in the world. He's the most powerful person in the world. Israel is a small country, a valued ally, but no one who knows anything about foreign policy or about world affairs thinks for a moment that the Prime Minister of Israel can tell any president what to do. Certainly not Ronald Reagan before him, certainly not Donald Trump today. And you can't allow personal feelings or inadequacies get in the way.
No, you're right. But you can't do that. You're right. But you know President Trump as well as I do. Yeah. That's him, right or wrong. Come on.
That's why I said at the beginning. I'm hoping it's not true. Okay. And again, one of the reasons I'm a little maybe holding back what I maybe really feel is that the president is the president. He's involved in very intense negotiations right now. I don't want to be saying anything to undermine him more than I have to. I hate to say that. But, I mean, no, listen, you have to learn to get along with other leaders. I mean, I don't mean the enemy. Forget that. By World War II, Roosevelt was always fighting with Churchill and de Gaulle. Even Reagan and Thatcher had some real serious differences. But you overlooked that for the greater good. So right now, even if he hated Netanyahu, even if Netanyahu was him the worst person in the world. You stand with him until this war is over, and Netanyahu should stand with him. So this is, to me, it's not showing good leadership. It's not showing good statesmanship. And it's losing perspective of the big deal. I mean, listen, you can say he solved the war between Azerbaijan and whoever else it was over there at the time, or the fact that he got a Maduro out of Venezuela. As you say, that's like, going in and taking out the borough president of Brooklyn.
Right.
The fact is, there's no comparison. And also, people like Maduro and others, they're thugs. They're there just to make money and enrich themselves and be power hungry. Say what you want about the mullahs in Iran. They are dedicated fanatics. They're not there for the personal glory and the personal gain. They are willing to die for what they believe in. I mean, what they believe in is an evil ideology, but they are evil people, and they are willing to literally fight to the death. And when we talk about the economy suffering and people starving, they don't care.
No.
If they can go forward, that's the price you pay for a dollar. You do that. You do what you have to do, and we have to understand that. And that's why I wish we had somebody besides Steve Witkoff over there negotiating. I mean, to me, you need people who understand the full ideology, how evil these people are. It's not a real estate deal. It's not a business deal. This is really dealing with the devil, and you have to know how to do that.
Yeah, both Witkoff and Jared Kushner have come under fire the last couple of days from Republicans. Forget about Democrats. I hate everything we do. But even Republicans have been very critical of those two guys. Well, the news today is that not that long ago, President Trump spoke and said the deal is not done. So, I don't know. My head's spinning. They're going to be in Switzerland on Friday. Supposedly we signed the deal. I don't know. People are still waiting the details of this memorandum. But now he said today it's not done. And he made it very clear yesterday that if they don't comply, which they're not going to do, we're going to bomb them and bomb them and bomb them and hit them over the head. And, again, I love this guy. I love him. He showed the balls and courage that no other president did. But after a while, it's the boy who cried wolf, man. You keep saying you're going to do this and do this and do this, and you don't. You heard my conversation with Mike Lawler yesterday. And even Rich Lowry this morning. You never should have started this. If you wanted to do this and you didn't want people to die, that's honorable. My son, who I love to death, he's not serving. So I can't speak on behalf of a parent who's got a kid who's serving. And my heart goes out to them, okay? But if you're going to start a war, you need to finish it. And it seems to me like President Trump wanted to halfway this thing. He really hoped that Iran would just fold and say, okay, we give up. It's an unconditional, capture. They were never going to do that. Never. So I don't know who planned this thing. It started off really good, but it's ending like a big, wet fart. How about that?
The military did everything it had to do, but to me, there's no such thing as an easy war. Even when George Bush invaded Panama, George Bush the first, back in 1989, 1990. We had casualties. We had soldiers die in that. Every war is tough. You have to assume it's going to be tough. You have to assume also that whatever your battle plan is, it's not going to work right away. You have to have first, second, third, fourth degree battle plans. You have to be ready for everything that might happen. And you don't do it unless you're committed to the full thing. You can't go half-ass on a war. Otherwise, you look bad and it ends up being a loss. Even if it's not, it looks like a loss. And to the rest of the world, you lose your prestige. Not that you care about prestige per se, but it means whether or not they're going to respect you, whether they're going to honor you when you need their troops in the future, when you need future commitments. And so this, to me, is it was apparently not well laid out politically. And obviously, militarily, they did whatever they had to do. Whatever they were asked to do, they did. They did it to perfection. I mean, absolutely great. But you have to have the second and third degree plans. You have to know what's going to happen. If they didn't surrender the first day or the second day, if they didn't agree to unconditional surrender the first week, what do we do next? And that seems we don't have that. And talking about going back to bombing, well, that didn't work to get the ultimate goal. Obviously, more will be required, I think, than the bombing. And also, I think we should try to get some allies involved. Why didn't we have the Brits and other NATO countries ready to go in, not to the fighting? I mean, he didn't tell them we were going into the war. But if they had spoken with them, have their minesweepers ready so that if the Strait of Hormuz was shut down, they would be there. Listen, I don't expect him to get along with the Europeans. They can be very difficult to deal with. But the fact is, everyone can be used. You can use them where they're helpful. They would have been very helpful here if you played the game a bit with them about. It can't all be macho. You have to know how to build coalitions, get them done. After it's over, you can say what you think of the guy. While it's going on, you work with them, they work with you.
All right, turns out, breaking news, Trump has delayed Jay Clayton's DNI confirmation. That has been delayed. He wants the U.S. Attorney General to be accepted, confirmed first. So he's saying that Bill Pulte will remain in that position, which was occupied not that long ago by Tulsi Gabbard, of course. So Trump is calling off, at least for right now, Clayton, his DNI confirmation. That is a big story unfolding as we speak. Are you upset, Pete, that the real details about this deal are still under wraps till maybe at least Friday?
Yeah, we're talking about something that could decide the future of the Middle East, and the Middle East, in many ways, is going to determine the future of the United States. We're in this, and we should know. Listen, if you didn't get authorization from Congress to go in there, I understand why you didn't. You expected it to be quick. But if you're going to sign up any kind of an agreement that binds the U.S. long term, then the American people should know about it.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?